Hi, I'm Brooke, and today I'm going to be talking to Paula, and she's going to share her carnivore journey with us. Hi, Paula, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, Brooke. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time to share with all our listeners what the carnivore experience has been for you, and what what was going on for you that switched you to carnivore.
Well, I've been keto for about 5 years. Started keto because of some medical issues. I had hypothyroid. I was dealing with migraines and depression, and both my parents were type 2 diabetes. And with my weight that I was at that time, I could see myself heading in that same direction. Didn't want to do that. I was at my highest weight of 215, and I am only 5'1". So being that was very overweight. I hadn't weighed that much even when I was 9 months pregnant. So that led a lot to the depression and everything. I had a friend who said she could help me, introduced me to some of that, the drink this, eat that kind of stuff. Drank the Kool-Aid. I went with it. But their diet was keto based. So that's what led me to keto. I did a lot of my own research, found the YouTube videos, listened to all of the people about it, learned it, did keto on and off then for 4 to 5 years. Lost a lot of weight, was feeling good,
What
did
were you
good.
eating on keto?
I was eating mainly meat. It just was easier. I found that the vegetables, even though I liked them, they didn't set well with me. They sometimes would make me not sick or nauseous, but they just didn't set good or make me feel good. And I was eating mainly meat anyway. Stumbled on to the carnivore world. Listened to ShawnBaker, Kelly Hogan, even Charles Washington. I went all the way back. I mean, I was listening to some of the oldie but goodies. So figured it out. Decided to start that. I wasn't at the weight wise where I wanted to be. I was feeling good, but I thought after listening to all them, I thought, I bet I can feel better. And so decided to go head first into it. Didn't tell any family or friends because I didn't want to, they were already supporting me in keto. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how it makes me feel before I publicize it out there. After a week, I was already had more energy. I noticed I was sleeping better at night. Then one of my co-teachers that I teach with at lunch, she looked at me and she says, "You're only eating meat?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "I'm trying this new carnivore thing. It's part of a keto thing." And she went, "Oh, how's it going?" So I told her, I said, "I'm doing good, feeling great." And she said, "Is that why you've been having so much more energy lately?" And so somebody else noticed. So that made me feel good. And I said, "I guess that's probably it." Well, then I started noticing I was feeling good. Went to my doctor. He'd been noticing my cholesterol had been up anyway, wanting to do some statins. Told him no way. Explained to him what I was doing. He wasn't for or against, but he was always like, "I have to explain to you, the risk of it, and I have to offer to prescribe a statin when you're at this level and anything like that." And I'm like, "You can tell me all you want, but I know how I feel." And he says, "Well, I can see how you feel, and I can see all the weight you've lost, because by this time I've lost 75 pounds."
Wow.
Yeah. And so he, at that time, was taking me off my blood pressure, starting to lower me off blood pressure medicine. Talked to him about my thyroid. He says, "Let's wait. We'll lower it and we'll see, what we need at that time." Because I was on thyroid medicine, blood pressure medicine, and depression medicine.
Wow. Wow.
And then I would take things for a migraine when it came. But once I started keto, I had migraines very seldom. And so that was a very good thing. And I was having them at least once a week, if not more. So that was a relief.
So did you slowly remove the vegetables that you had been eating?
Um, yes, I kind of started going down because I was eating quite a few of the approved keto vegetables. And so I kind of just started cutting out certain ones, started going mainly just like broccoli, cauliflower, that kind of stuff. Then kind of even just went to like one cauliflower, and then finally just totally went none.
Good for
So
you. And then you just felt better and better.
yes, better and better.
Nice. And what are you eating now?
When I first started carnivore, I wanted to keep it simple and easy, and so I just would eat ground beef and butter, or like hamburger patties and butter, and I would eat a few eggs here and there. I'd eat some cheese, and so now then I've kind of gotten more used to it. We eat steak. I'll eat some bacon and eggs, things like that. I do still eat cheese, but for a while I cut it all dairy out because I had a phlegmy cough. Wanted to see if it was the dairy, and it was. The phlegmy cough got better, but I love dairy so much, I keep eating it.
Oh,
So,
it's such a great food.
yes,
If you can
yes.
tolerate it, it's such a good food.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so, and then if a phlegmy cough is all it is, it's not like giving me stomach issues or something like that. It's bearable. And
Can
so
I
now I
ask you,
eat more different meat, but it's nearly all red meat or like bacon.
can I ask you about the depression?
Uh-huh.
What foods do you think, or do you know? I mean, it's so hard to gauge, that you removed that you felt that mood change.
Um, I think a lot of it was processed food, like the anything processed that had that extra additives and things in it. I think that really kind of helped with that and go into more natural whole foods.
So that was with the keto experience, was that
Mm-hmm.
that kind
Mm-hmm.
of removed away.
Right.
And then, did you have any digestive problems when
I
you
did.
eliminated the vegetables?
I did not know.
Yeah, nice. And do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee in the mornings. I drink that. I sometimes put a little bit of butter in it, and then that's pretty much
Yeah,
what I do. So
yeah.
yeah.
But sounds like it's working out really well for you.
It is. It's working very good. It's easy. I just they people say that it's hard and that it's restrictive. I guess I just don't see that. I don't feel that. I was determined during the holidays because I started carnivore before the holidays, even Thanksgiving, way before Thanksgiving, and I thought, I'm gonna probably go off carnivore for the holidays, but I'm not gonna go off keto. I'm determined not to, and I didn't. And I'm so glad because then it made me feel so much better. And after each holiday, I just went straight back to carnivore. I didn't stay just keto through all of the holiday season from November to the new year. I just did the one day and went back. And
So you kind of went to low carb, but you from zero carb, but you never went to high carb,
yes,
all the way back. Yeah, that sounds like it's working out really well for you. And now it's been almost going on to 5 years for,
yeah.
yeah, that's great.
But the
Um,
carnivore has really helped with my thyroid.
yeah.
Once I've got on carnivore, I could see my thyroid numbers really starting to get better and like they needed to be. And so the carnivore really has helped with that.
So you were taking the thyroid medication with keto
Uh-huh.
those years, and then when you stopped the plant foods altogether, that's when you were able to move from those thyroid meds?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's really interesting.
And even after going carnivore, I not too long ago, about a week and a half ago, I had blood work done. And even though my doctor had been concerned about my high cholesterol and everything, my A1C was 4.98. And so much of my things, the individual cholesterol is high, but when you look at the whole picture,
Yeah.
everything is where it should be. And all of my minerals, my potassium, my sodium, everything was exactly where it needed to be. All my vitamins, my creatine level, everything was exactly where he wanted it. And he even said, all your labs look wonderful.
That's great. And so you've been able to stop all your medications.
Yes. Yes.
That's fantastic. And what would be a typical day's eating for you?
Well, in the mornings, I would normally have my coffee, and I have that on the way to work. I'm a school teacher. And then at lunch, I would probably have like a couple of hamburger patties or a steak, leftover steak from the night before, or something like that. And then if I'm hungry, I will eat supper with more beef, like another, hamburger, ground hamburger, or another steak, or something, bacon and eggs or something like that. But lots of times I'm not hungry. And so I intermittent fast until the next morning when I have coffee again.
Sounds great. That sounds great. Sounds easy.
Yeah, very easy. And it's so simple. And my family, none of them are carnivore or keto, but I still cook for them, and I cook meat. They're always going to have a meat because that's what I want. But then I do fix them other things to go with it. And they're very supportive of what I do. And even though they're not, I'm just trying to lead by example right now. So
Well, good for you. It sounds like it's pretty easy and a done deal. And it sounds also that you've been able to um, have the experience to be able to be flexible about what you can and cannot do, where you can and cannot bend or move things around or tweak.
I really have learned that in the past year being on keto, because when I first started keto, I did really well. And then, as everybody says, life happens
Yeah.
and you kind of fall off the wagon. Well, I did not feel prepared at that time to stay keto. I don't know if I just didn't have the knowledge that I needed or what was going on. And so then I was on and off for, the rest of the time. And then about a year ago, I don't know if it clicked, what happened. I made that final decision that this is life. This isn't a diet. This is how I'm going to live for the rest of my life, and so then the flexibility did come in. And then with carnivore, it even got easier, and I don't feel deprived. I get what I want. I feel full. I eat out with my family when they want to eat out. I go places. And so I think it's just finally clicked in my brain.
That sounds great. You know, that having your keto experience, um, and then the simplicity of carnivore, it leaves this big long threshold of your carnivore, simple carnivore diet, and if need be, and as life would have it, you have all this room that you could be still low carb and keto
Mhm.
um, before a troubling before any trouble starts. You have this big threshold. Like you said, during the holidays, you could have backed into sort of low carb for a while or carnivore-ish, and then you can just move back and forth into carnivore. So it's really great that you really have this experience now and a wide berth for yourself.
Yes, and that has made it a lot easier being able to go back and forth and not tell myself, "Oh, you messed up. It's okay now. Let's just keep on going," or something like that. It's so that really has made a difference too.
Very good.
So,
How adult of you.
yeah.
Very adult of you. Well, that's great, Paul. And I'm so glad that you're off your medications and your doctor is impressed. Maybe he'll even share that experience with help his other clients, his other patients with.
Yes, I've always had thought my story was kind of ho-hum compared to so many stories that I've read or I've heard or anything. But I thought, there's so many things that people need to hear, that they may be feeling the same way. They may be having the same issues. And so the more we can tell people and show them that it
Yeah.
works and it's great, and
Yeah.
there's
And I
lots of
really
other
like this,
benefits.
and I really like this idea of this whole, it's like a whole field of way of eating and changing it and tweaking it. That's all low carb, high fat, high protein, meat based, animal
Right.
based, even if you had to incorporate other things in there during certain times or something. And that is, it gives
Yes.
you lots of room. So I think that's really a great message for people.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Paula. And I'm glad you're in the Carniverse with me. So
Oh, I'm glad to be here and I'm loving it.
that's great. And then come join us at Meet RX for meetings if you ever feel like you need support or anything.
Okay. Okay.
It's a great group we have over here.
Well, great.
Well, thanks again, Paula.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You too.